Welcome back. It's being called a game changer. Low-cost, high-speed rail service from Hartford to New Haven and Hartford to Springfield. And with us today is the Commissioner of the Department of Transportation, Jim Redeker. And Commissioner Redeker, good to see you here in the program.
It's great to be here, yeah.
You know, when I first moved to Connecticut 25 plus years ago, I took the train from Hartford to New York. It cost a fortune because you had to take Amtrak.
Sure, of course.
That's all changing now.
Yeah, for sure. This is probably the big game changer, as you said. Today, folks in this corridor ride Amtrak trains. There will continue to be Amtrak trains, but we're implementing Connecticut fares. So just to give an example for someone, Hartford to New Haven by Amtrak is $16, and that would be the minimum. You can pay an upgrade to get $31 or a fully refundable fare. And on special days and weekends, it goes even higher. No, all time, every day, $8.
$8.
And that's for the one-way fare. If you're a monthly commuter, the average, it's almost half of that on a daily basis. Final point, if you're a student and you're part of our UPass program, this is where you pay $20 a semester for a pass, you'll go for free. So this is going to be unbelievable in this corridor, particularly given the fact that it's a knowledge corridor. Universities up and down this corridor. You're a student, you're part of our program, but it'll be free.
And I believe that the Metro North line charges $32 round trip from New Haven to Manhattan. Right. So we're talking $50 to get back and forth. It's
a great deal. And listen, we're putting in all new ticket machines where you can buy a through ticket. So wherever you go, you can ride between the Hartford line and the New Haven line, and you can get a through ticket and make it simple for you.
So how do the mechanics of it work? When you go there, there'll be, you'll go to Union Station, downtown Hartford, correct?
Sure, you can do that, yeah.
And there'll be signs that say the Hartford line. That's the only place to pick it up in the city?
Right. So downtown Hartford, the Hartford line will be at the station. You go to the station, ticket machines, and so you'll buy a ticket, and then it's one ticket for any train, right? So it's a combination of CT rail trains, brand new, branded trains. Of the 17 trains a day between New Haven and Hartford, 9 of those will be operated by Amtrak and 8 will be operated by CT Rail. But it doesn't matter who operates them. You buy a ticket, you get on the train you want to get on, and that fare is good.
And so the goal is to get people out of their cars. I mean,
absolutely, of course, yeah.
What kind of research do you have that shows that people will do it? Or what kind of feedback are you getting?
Sure. Well, I mean, take a look. You just have to take a look at every rail line that we have. Those are people who are not on the road. So in the state of Connecticut right now, there's 42 million trips a year that are not on the road. Rail is an attractive mode, just as people too, right? So we started with a few people. We're up to 3 million trips on Fast Track. We think this will be a game changer in this corridor. It has never had the kind of frequent and affordable and fast service that we're going to provide. We have just completed this week a demonstration of 110 miles an hour. That was our goal for high-speed trains, and we had the test train, and it worked just fine.
So the trip to Hartford, New Haven, how long does that take?
Oh, that's a good question. It's about 45 minutes.
45 minutes. Does it stop anywhere along the way?
Yeah, so it'll make the stops that Amtrak makes today. So you'll be, the stops in between are Meriden, Berlin, and Wallingford. It'll make those stops.
And in terms of frequency?
Yeah, so 17 trains a day. Starting on weekdays about 5 o'clock in the morning and going to about 11 o'clock at night. So robust service, 13 trains a day on weekends between Hartford and New Haven, and of course a little bit less up to Springfield, but still 12 trains a day between Springfield and New Haven, on weekends about 9 as well.
Do you believe some of the people who are saying, or do you agree with them that they're saying that this could actually encourage more people to move to New Haven and Hartford because of the transportation?
Yeah, absolutely. So let me give the demonstration of that is absolutely vivid. We haven't opened service yet, and we've seen over $375 million of mixed-use development constructed. So if you take a look at a place like Meriden, 24 Colony was a public-private partnership kind of a program where a mixed-use development was built and we contributed for parking toward the station. All those units are full. They're full with millennials. This is the game changer, and that's at Meriden. You heard Andy talking before about Hartford with apartments just absolutely packed full. And I think that this building transit-oriented development around this line is really going to be the economic growth that the state has been looking for.
Well, I have you here, I need to ask you about, because people are asking me, what's the latest on the I-84 reconstruction, the Etna Viaduct through downtown Hartford? Because the DOT has to do something about it soon.
Of course, yeah.
Well, relatively soon.
Yeah, of course. So we're completing the environmental study, which we believe will be done next year. So in 2019, that'll be completed, and then we'll line up the money to advance the project. So at this point, it's too early to tell, but we hope that we could get into construction in 2020. In the meantime, we're out there right now spending a lot of money doing interim repairs to keep that structure safe and sound.
Yeah, I think I was behind some of those repairs the other day as well. So,
that could be.
In terms of the plan that's going to be implemented, do you know which one it is yet? Is it going to be redoing it, or is it going to be a tunnel or a semi-tunnel?
Yeah. So it's going to be what we call a depressed roadway, so that we'll essentially lower the roadway through Hartford. We'll realign the railroad to the north side and build a new train station, all as part of the project. And that will allow us to do a lot of cover, to build over the road, reconnect Hartford back to the way it was before the interstate ripped it apart, when it was originally constructed. So it really does create a lot of benefits. We reduce some of the interchanges. We straighten it out some, we lower it, we have economic development. So we're actually bringing back to the city some 35 acres of new development simply because we're getting rid of property now taken for the roadway.
As you know, tolls are kind of a big deal right now in the political world. They didn't go very far this past year, but they'll likely be brought up again by lawmakers. Is it good or bad for the transportation system, in your opinion, to have tolls?
Well,
I mean, obviously the money is good, but in terms of the traffic and...
Sure. The way Connecticut was progressing the concept for tolls followed on two studies that were congestion pricing or value pricing studies, meaning you'd put in slightly higher fees in the peak period drive time and lower fees in the off-peak. We have studied that, and it shows that there are significant reductions of congestion simply because of that. Secondly, the benefit from that obviously is the revenue. Long term, we are going to continue to need to spend money on our network. And the final piece is today Connecticut residents are paying the full freight for the transportation fund. And tolls could shift that such that out-of-state people would pay a much higher piece and a fair share.
Jim Redeker with the DOT, we thank you so much for being on the program today. Best of luck with the Hartford Rail. I know I'll be taking a spin on it. The Hartford line, rather.
Great. See you there.
Thanks for watching Face the State on this Sunday. Enjoy your Sunday afternoon. I'll see you back here tomorrow on the news.